Hi friends, welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to transform your soup game forever with this easy beer cheese recipe. No matter if you're serving up a classic bowl of ramen, a comforting potato leek, or anything in between, we're about to take it to the next level. So grab your aprons, sharpen your knives, and get ready to pour yourself a cold one because we're about to get cheesy. Now, before we jump into this recipe, I want to address something. In my last video, I said that I never drink Miller Lite because I think it's a girly beer. But then I did a poll, and like 70% of you said, shut up and make the recipe. So here I am making the recipe. And now, after tasting it, I have concluded that this is a manly beer. And this goes great with the recipe. So shut up, Andrew. Now let's get started. Alright, so this recipe is super simple and it's gonna blow your mind. We're talking 3 ingredients, maybe 4 if you want, and 10 minutes start to finish. That means you can impress your friends and family without spending all day in the kitchen. And who doesn't love that? The best part is that this recipe is incredibly versatile. It works with any soup, any type of soup, from the simplest chicken noodle to the most gourmet French onion. Plus, it's easily adaptable to different dietary needs. Whether you're dairy-free, gluten-free, or just plain old-fashioned picky, we've got you covered. So let's get started. Alright, so let's talk cheese. This is the heart and soul of our beer cheese, and we want to choose something that's bring the flavor. For this recipe, I'm using a nice aged cheddar. This adds a sharp, robust flavor that pairs perfectly with the beer and stands up well to the acidity of the lemon juice. Plus, it's a crowd pleaser. Not everyone loves fancy cheese, but cheddar, well, that's a safe bet. However, if you want to get fancy, try using a Gruyere or even a Fontina for a more gourmet touch. If you're feeling really wild, you can even mix it up. Try a smoked Gouda for a smoky flavor or a pepper jack for a little heat. Remember, this is your beer cheese. Make it your own. Next, let's talk beer. Now, I know I just told you to shut up and make the recipe, but I recommend using a beer that you would actually drink. After all, this is supposed to enhance the soup, not be an afterthought. I personally like to use a nice pale ale or an IPA. These beers have a nice hoppy flavor that isn't too overpowering. They also have enough body to stand up to the richness of the cheese, but they're not so heavy that they'll weigh down the soup. Plus, let's face it, who doesn't love a good IPA? Now, if you're not a beer drinker, don't worry. You can use the broth or stock. Just keep in mind that the flavor won't be quite the same. If you go the broth route, I recommend using a low-sodium option so you can control the saltiness of the final dish. And now let's talk thickness. We want our beer cheese to be thick and creamy, but not so thick that it becomes a cheese sauce. To achieve this, we're going to use a little cornstarch and water to create a slurry. The cornstarch is going to help thicken the cheese sauce without making it too stiff. And by adding it slowly, we can control the consistency to get it just right. Now, if you're looking to make this recipe lighter, you can skip the cornstarch altogether. Just keep in mind that the sauce won't be quite as thick. Finally, let's talk seasoning. Now, beer and cheese are already pretty flavorful, so we don't want to go too heavy-handed here. A little salt and pepper should do the trick, but feel free to experiment with other seasonings as well. Some people like to add a pinch of nutmeg or paprika for a deeper flavor. Others like to get fancy with some fresh thyme or rosemary. Ultimately, this is your beer cheese, so make it your own. Now let's get to work. First, we're going to grate our cheese. I like to use a box grater for this job, but a food processor also works well. Just be sure to grate the cheese finely so it melts evenly and doesn't have any large chunks. Next, we're going to pour our beer or broth into a small saucepan over medium heat. We're just looking to warm it up, so we don't want to boil it. Once the beer is nice and toasty, we're going to add the cornstarch slurry and whisk until the mixture starts to thicken. This should only take a few minutes. And once the sauce is thickening, we're going to remove it from the heat and stir in the grated cheese. Now we just want to make sure that the cheese is fully melted and well combined with the sauce. And finally, we're going to season to taste with salt and pepper. And that's it. Our beer cheese is ready. Now all we need to do is serve it up. To serve, we're going to ladle some soup into each bowl, then spoon some beer cheese on top. You can get fancy here and create different patterns or keep it simple. It's totally up to you. Just remember that the cheese will harden as it cools, so you want to serve it while it's still warm. And if you're feeling really fancy, you can garnish with some fresh herbs or even a drizzle of hot honey. And there you have it, friends. A simple yet incredibly delicious beer cheese. That's S gone nay. Take your soup game to the next level. Whether you're serving it up at a casual weeknight dinner or a fancy get-together with friends, this dish is sure to impress, so why not give it a try? And hey, while you're at it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so you never miss out on future recipes. Until next time, happy cooking and stay cheesy, my friends.